Good morning, President Khuri, Provost Harajli, Dean El-Cheikh, Dean Sayegh, VP Diab, our distinguished speakers, esteemed audience. We have been celebrating the year 2016 with a wide range of activities to commemorate AUB's 150th anniversary. AUB's slogan for 2016 has been, "We make history." Indeed, we are making history today with the presence of 7 world-renowned chemists who will be delivering plenary lectures in this 2016 Makhlouf Haddadin Symposium. Professor Haddadin has greatly contributed to AUB, Lebanon, and beyond. We are truly thrilled to host our distinguished speakers, and we look forward to exciting lectures today and tomorrow. Please allow me to sincerely acknowledge the incredible generosity of the Haddadin and Hamati families and friends who made this symposium a reality. I also want to sincerely acknowledge Executive Vice President Dean Mohammed Sayegh and the AUB 150 Committee for the wholehearted funding support. Now, I invite our new Dean, Professor Nadia El-Cheikh, the first woman to be appointed as Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, to give her remarks. Dr. El-Cheikh.
President Khuri, Provost Harajli, VP Sayegh, VP Diab, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, and students. I would like to welcome you all to the symposium honoring a pillar of AUB, Professor Makhlouf Haddadin. A graduate of the Department of Chemistry, BS 1957, MS 1959, Professor Haddadin earned his PhD in organic chemistry from the University of Colorado. Upon his return to the region, he joined AUB in 1964. He chaired the Department of Chemistry on several occasions, served as acting dean of several faculties, and was acting president at crucial moments in the history of AUB. During the dark years of civil strife, Professor Haddadin was a key player in keeping this university open and functioning. Professor Haddadin has more than 90 international publications and 42 patents to his name. Jordanian-born, he has named his 2 major discoveries after our city, the Davis-Beirut reaction and the Beirut reaction. The American University of Beirut and the city of Beirut are honored once again to host the Haddadin Symposium. The chemistry department is a key department in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. The total number of enrolled students in the chemistry courses this term is around 1,900. Its faculty members are heavily engaged in research across a broad range of interests, and they publish in impactful international journals. They collaborate with regional and international research groups and have been able to secure funding from competitive international agencies. The initiative to create an endowment in the name of Professor Makhlouf Haddadin to award distinguished students and to invite speakers is a distinct accomplishment. Thank you, Professor Kaafarani, for the efficient, sustained, and engaged work that you have been doing. The support of your department has been and will continue to be essential and will serve as a model for other departments to increase our research and scholarship endowments. At a historic juncture for AUB, and considering the momentous events that are engulfing our region, we believe that AUB has to live up to its extraordinary history by playing a predominant role in shaping the future of Lebanon and the region. Building bridges regionally and internationally is an essential step in this mission. I hope that this symposium will create new opportunities for our faculty and students to initiate new productive research collaborations. Last but not least, I would like to welcome our distinguished guests. We are honored to have you with us today, as AUB and the Faculty of Arts and Sciences are still celebrating their 150th anniversary. Enjoy your stay, enjoy Lebanon, ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you all for being here. I wish you success in your presentations and deliberations.
Thank you, Dean El-Cheikh. It's my privilege and honor to introduce our president, the 16th president of AUB, Dr. Fadlo Khuri.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kafarani. They record me because I never stick to the script, so please accept that. I'm going to reserve my comments on Dr. Haddadin for tomorrow's gala because I don't want to take up too much time describing my and the university's debt to this wonderful man who I've known for over 40 years, who, as you just heard, has figured prominently in leadership and in science for this university for several decades, and he's still only 39 years old. I thought it was a very good, interesting week, Makhlouf. Bob Dylan wins the Nobel Prize, and one of his most famous songs fits you perfectly, Forever Young. So I want to talk about the importance of symposia like this in the life of the university, something that a great research university must have if it is to be taken seriously, to be competitive for funded grants, and to really make an impact in the world of impacting knowledge. What you'll see in this room are some of our most distinguished researchers from different faculties, and I think I've sent a very clear message early on with our appointments that our administration believes that the leaders have to be exemplary and preeminent researchers, whether in the humanities and engineering and biomedical research. A great institution can afford to find people who are both great scholars and great leaders. Believe it or not, the two are not in opposition. Our administration believes that to make a difference in the realm of science, we must select, mentor, nurture great scientists, and part of that, to use a phrase that our VP for Regional External Programs loves to use, is distance learning. This is what I would call intensive distance learning. We have 7 of the preeminent scholars in their field in the world lecturing to our faculty, our students, and our staff about everything from their careers to reinventing chemistry to nanotechnology, new reactions, and this is really the stuff of history. And I think we are deeply indebted as a university to Dr. Kafarani, not only for his boundless energy, but for his great skill as a closer. This is fall season, and I love baseball. Every team that wins needs a closer. Dr. Kafarani is a great closer. He follows every detail. He invites the right speakers. He makes sure they come. All their needs are met. He works with them to pick a topic. And if you saw the impact on the attendees of the lectures of Drs. Whitesides and Marder, which unfortunately as an administrator we miss more and more of these scientific lectures. I've still promised the dean that I will make one of her research brown bags, and we will do that. But quite candidly, the impact was electric. Mentorship is something that our best scholars need. And by being here for several days, by interacting with our students, faculty, and staff, you are making a huge difference in mentorship. So I want to start by saying thank you very much to our distinguished speakers. So you bring luster, you bring mentorship, but you also bring collaboration and collegiality. As an individual who believes, like our EVP for medicine, that careers are built by teams of excellence, you're coming here, you're helping our young faculty and students find their way, and even our senior faculty who are remarkably productive. None more productive, quite candidly, than the individual who we are honoring and is honoring us by having this symposium named after him. Careers are made by constant collaboration and enlightenment, and that's what this symposium is about. Our institution believes that even in these very economically challenging times. 27% of people in Lebanon are unemployed. We offer financial aid to about 54%, right, Mr. Provost? About 54% of our student body. We give back 40 cents on every dollar we take in tuition. That you still have to invest. The only way to get out of a difficult economic situation, as President Obama has shown again and again in recent years, is to invest in the future of your people. And we are going to invest in conferences, in research, and in outstanding scholars. In the last year alone, I believe we've increased the research budget in collaboration with the provost and the EVP of medicine by 60%. That's the internal funding that our faculty get. And of course, Dr. Kafarani, as a remarkable grant getter, I'm sure will get more than his fair share of that 60%. But that's the goal of a university, is to put up resources, even if they're humble, and have your best and brightest challenge for it. This is something Dr. Haddadin has done his whole life. His whole life he's been able to find funding and make an impact. So from our perspective, we want to thank you because you are doing something ideal and vital for our university. You're helping put us again prominently on the map. You're imparting knowledge. You're inspiring our students, our faculty, and our staff. And finally, you're providing collaboration, guidance, advice, and yes, inspiration for us to make a difference. We will not let you down. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Khuri. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Professor Whitesides has to leave back to Boston this evening and will be missing tomorrow's gala dinner. We have a special ceremony during tomorrow's gala dinner to acknowledge our esteemed guests. We're going to make a small modification to today's program and recognize Professor Whitesides. I ask President Khuri, Provost Harajli, Dean El-Cheikh, Professor Haddadin, and Professor Whitesides to join me here. President Khuri will present a special plaque to Professor Whitesides, while Professor Haddadin will present the symposium poster. Also, Nadia from the Organic Chemistry Club will present a special present from the club. For the other speakers, your turn will come tomorrow. Can you face it the other way? Yeah.
That has not changed.
Maya? Part of it is for your wife, the other part is for you. I ask all our esteemed speakers to join us here for a group picture. I ask VP Sayer and VP Diab to join us, please. Dr. Haddadin, please.
Cannot escape so easily.
Thank you very much. I'm going to call on President Khuri again. He's going to be handing small token of appreciation to our distinguished guests, while Dr. Haddadin, if you please join me as well, will hand in the poster announcement. Also, Maria Khuri and Maria Rumi from the Organic Chemistry Club, they will be handing special gifts from the Organic Chemistry Club to our esteemed professor. I invite Dean Nadia Sheikh and Dr. Haddadin to join President Khuri. I'm going to be calling on our guests in alphabetical order. Professor Luisa De Cola from the University of Strasbourg. Professor Mark Kurth from the University of California, Davis. Professor Seth Marder from Georgia Institute of Technology. Professor Gerald Meyer from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Professor Paul Weiss from UCLA.
Dr. Weiss, picture. One more. One more. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Professor Samir Zard from Ecole Polytechnique. May I ask all the speakers to join us here for a group picture with the President and the El-Cheikh and Dr. Haddadin. We're gonna stand right here in front of the podium. We have already handed, did a small, we already handed the special trophy to Dr. Whitesides, Professor Whitesides, who had to leave.
I'm a third-year chemical engineering student, and I'm the president of the Organic Chemistry Club. I will be your MC for the evening. We are very thrilled to host you on this very special evening, and we hope you enjoy the food and the program. In the name of all astute attendees of the symposium, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to our 7 distinguished speakers who gave inspirational talks for the last 2 days. With no further ado, it is my privilege to call on President Fadlo Khuri to give his remarks.
Okay. Rahim insisted I write the speech since I often can't remember what I said. Okay, I think everyone here, by now, at least in the AUB community, knows that I met Makhlouf when I was 10 years old, right after my elementary school graduation. Makhlouf had been part of the Mac and Musa Act, who razzled and dazzled both my parents and my in-laws in Boston in the 60s when he was doing his postdoc. And unlike almost anyone else I met at age 10, he actually talked to me like a human being instead of a 10-year-old simpleton. So obviously I was captivated from a young age. When I entered AUB, I had planned to enter as a chemistry major until my father decided that I was going to be a biology major, therefore losing the summer between high school and college. Everyone was having fun. I was studying biology for the first time in 5 years. But the give back was that supposedly the schedule would allow me to do a second major in organic chemistry with Dr. Haddadin. My father then got the bright idea that I should learn to drive, something I'm still not very good at. But I drive universities better than cars. And so as a consequence, in my 1 year at AUB, I didn't even get, despite Mary Kasmarian's best efforts, to be in Makhlouf's section. Nonetheless, we stayed in touch, and in 1993, when I came back, Makhlouf had just had major surgery, bounced back, and as he shook my hand, he said, "Fadlo, I don't think you should think that something as simple as recovery from heart surgery would keep me away from you in your first visit. Welcome to your home." So that's been my relationship with Makhlouf pretty much all my life. That was at my in-laws. And I think that the feeling that this individual gives every person that he takes the time to spend in is unique. I'm not the most politically correct person, but you meet many important individuals who, as they're talking to you, they're looking over your shoulder to see who more important they should be really paying attention to. So Makhlouf is the opposite of that. He gives everyone, every student, every faculty member, every colleague, and yes, even people who were once children, his full attention. I called him as soon as my appointment was official. The Board of Trustees had decided to keep it a secret for reasons that still escape me, maybe to prevent the subsequent boycott the students greeted me with. I met 400 faculty in my first visit, and all of 29 out of 8,700 students showed up to meet with me. In fact, there were students saying, "Don't go in the lecture room, the bad guy's coming on behalf of the board." So I met with Makhlouf. University was in good shape, but some interesting things were going on. By the way, one of the people you can blame for my taking this job is Lara Halawi, who was on the search committee, the only faculty member. And I wanted to ask him in person with Philip Khuri to be the acting president. Now, you have to remember, Makhlouf has been acting dean of 2 faculties, vice president for academic affairs, provost, and now acting president. I figured 2 months. But he was actually planning to go to Davis. He's still a very active researcher, so we had to arrange that he would talk to his longtime collaborator and friend. And I got him to convince Mark Kurth to postpone his summer research project for 1 year. You have to understand something about Makhlouf. When he says that he will take a responsibility, he takes it absolutely seriously. I really believe that in 2 months' time, he tried to solve every single challenge AUB had so that I would have the softest possible landing. He came pretty close to making it a boring job. If I'd given him 2 more months, the faculty contract tenure, the syndicate contract, student elections, everything would have been wrapped up, but we couldn't afford to leave all the fun for him. But he handled some tough stuff. Never let him off the hook, so he serves as my senior advisor, and really, along with Rahim Khuri, is the tiny cabinet that I get together when I have to make a really difficult decision. So you can blame these 2 gentlemen. Over the last year, I've leaned on Makhlouf's advice like no other. But this room is filled with his students and friends and collaborators, so Makhlouf has rules. So here are some of Makhlouf's rules. First of all, he gets to see my speech first. That includes my wife. So all my speeches, he sees them first. For those of you who don't like them, and Tarif al-Khadi gave me a word-by-word critique. I said, blame Makhlouf. I have to rehearse my Arabic poetry attempts, because he's a great Arabic poet, for those of you who don't know him, with him. And yet he is a remarkably gentle and encouraging individual. Everyone who's been in his presence knows that you, at that moment, are the most important person in the world. It was interesting that my unofficial uncle, or the man that they used to call my father and to uncle's fourth brother, Dick Debs, the chairman of the board, finally commented, after promising to maintain silence on anything I did, the minute Makhlouf was named as acting president, he immediately took credit. You said, Dick Debs said about me, he said, "You see, we taught him, he knows what he's doing, and it's obvious because he brought back Makhlouf Haddadin into administration." So I have special regards from Dr. Debs for you this evening. Makhlouf is a poet and a scholar. I'm a failed lyricist and a musician, so I couldn't possibly finish the poem that I had started to compose for him. But I found a poem that someone else had written that I would like to read because I think it fits him beautifully. This actually was written by someone a few of you might have heard of, John Milton, and it was written about Shakespeare. It's very poignant that I get to read this for Makhlouf, because earlier this year we had a real health scare. His whole family had lovingly shown up to be here at the inauguration, and they spent all the time in the hospital. But as we promised, thanks to Dr. Alam, Makhlouf is back better than ever. So I'm going to read this poem because I wanted to read it to Makhlouf while he's in great health. And this is on Shakespeare, and I'm adapting it, and I'm substituting the name of Shakespeare for our guest. What needs my Haddadin for his honored legacy? The favor of an age and piled greatness, or that his hallowed relics should be hid under a starry pointing pyramid. Dear son of memory, great heir of fame, what needst thou such weak witness of thy name? Thou, in our wonder and astonishment, hast built thyself a lifelong monument. For whilst to the shame of slow endeavoring art, thy easy numbers flow, and that each heart hath from the leaves of thy unvalued book those Delphic lines with deep impression took. Then thou, our fancy of itself bereaving, doth make us marvel with too much conceiving. And so sepultured in such pomp dost lie, that kings for such a tomb would wish to die. Now we humans, we have a terrible tradition, especially in Lebanon, of only saying great things about people once they're gone. Ladies and gentlemen, Makhlouf Haddadin, one of the greatest human beings any of us will ever have the privilege to know.
Personal experience, and I know many of the speakers, and I can talk to them, that we have the opportunity to speak at many different places and to interact with many different people. And you know, our visits to places are marked by what we learn scientifically, but more importantly, they're marked by the people who we touch and who in turn actually touch us. And I know I've spent time for the last few days with the people who have been invited to come to here, and also been very, very much touched by the warmth of everyone who we've had the opportunity to meet. Professor Haddadin has spent a tremendous amount of time personally with me, and I think with the other speakers, as has his family. And that's been moving, but honestly, with all due respect, our time with the students here, I think, has been extraordinarily moving. Some of you may know that the speakers, they think we're special, but the reality is we're not special. We're no more special than all the people and all the students who we meet here. And I think hopefully the students will come to know that as they move on. But we've been interviewed. And I was interviewed by one of the people for the newspaper, and he said, what would it take to make AUB a truly great university? And I challenged, I said, I fundamentally challenged the supposition of that statement. I said, what makes you say that AUB is not fundamentally a great university? Okay? And I've had the privilege to be at many and speak at many spectacular institutions around the world. And I say this, some of you have had a chance to get to know me. I'm not one who minces words, I speak from the heart. But this institution is remarkable. And it's remarkable because of the passion that the faculty have with respect to the students, and it's absolutely remarkable, and we've seen that tonight and all through the week about the passion and the commitment and the intellect of the students. And I can tell you that it's truly been a privilege to be here, to see the students. It's been inspiring, okay? And I'd also like to take just a personal moment to thank Bilal. I don't see him. Bilal. It pains me to say this because Bilal was a postdoc of mine. But I have an immense sense of pride to see what he has done here as professor, and also here in the context of putting together this conference to celebrate the 150th year of this institution. His attention to the quality of the science, his attention to the detail of the organization, and note the opportunity that he took to give students the power and the responsibility to take care of us. Okay? This epitomizes what makes an incredible educator and an incredible mentor. Okay? To empower students to run things and to make our lives great. I don't think I am exaggerating in saying that I don't think I've ever been to a symposium at an institution that has been as well organized, that has the passion invested by the faculty and the students as was done here. And while I take every opportunity I have to give Bilal a hard time, and God knows, over the 13 or 14 years that I've known him, I've become very effective at doing that. I'm at a loss. All I can say is that you've done an amazing job. As someone who's had the privilege to serve as your mentor, I am overwhelmed with an incredible sense of pride. Not only what you've done in organizing this symposium, but what you've done in contributing to the educational experience of the students here. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the faculty and the staff and the students for making this an incredibly special experience for all of us.
I am normally not at loss for words. However, tonight I am. Indeed, I want to thank President Khuri for all what he said about me. He is very kind, I assure you. And I want to thank the El-Cheikh for coming tonight. And I want to thank our distinguished speakers who came all the way from all parts of the world to participate in this symposium. I cannot but thank Bilal Qafarani for having thought of the idea. I had nothing to do with it. Yes, in fact, a faculty member in one of the 150th anniversary meetings sort of made a remark. I said to him, I have nothing to do with it. Go to Bilal Qafarani. It is true. It is Bilal's work. Thank you very much, Bilal. And thanks the team of the students. Team of the students. You know, an uncle of mine is here, Khalid, Yusuf Hamad. Khalid. Yusuf is a member of the family. I thank him very much. He has come all the way from Michigan. He has been a generous donor. Thank you, Yusuf.